So we're sitting there. It's like a bar type place in the back of a liquor store. Not the kind of place I would usually go to, but they wanted to see this band, so we go see the band. The guitar player, I guess, is up there, and he something happened. Right, the band had a technical difficulty. Wire fell out, the guitar string. I don't know what happened. So okay, he goes and heads to the bathroom. We're sitting right by the bathroom. Goes in, and we hear someone yell. So we're looking around. We're thinking, did that come from the bathroom? What was that? Then he just comes out, looked a little like maybe he was crying or something, and, picked up and got back on with his thing and started playing. But I mean, if you can't handle pressure like that, maybe you shouldn't be in the entertainment business. Steve Weiner here from GetRubix.com, and today we're going to start with our, 101 at the beginning Windows 365 complete guide, right? Everything you need to know to jump into it. If you're unfamiliar with it and you don't know anything about it, even better, because we're going to start from the beginning today. Later in the set, they were playing and he forgot one part of a song on his guitar, and I'm just sitting there thinking, what is this guy going to do now?
GetRubix, solving for the modern workplace.
So before we jump in, I want to give you a little bit of a roadmap of what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to start by covering what Windows 365 is. Who should be using it? Now, obviously, anybody can use anything, but where are the use cases where it really stands out and folks get the most benefit? We're going to talk about how it works, right? That includes, a little bit of the technology behind it, how you access it, what it looks like for an end user. And then we're going to talk about getting started with onboarding yourself with the product. That's going to include the types of SKUs that are available, and we're going to kind of break down an easy way to understand everything so you can get started. Okay, so I just kind of want to talk through the process of how it works, right? So you have Intune and your user. That's your user. That's what they look like. So Intune, right, configures a provisioning policy, and that policy will dictate how the PC is configured to the end user when assigned to them. So that's going to have things like if the Cloud PC is Entra or hybrid joined, the Windows version, if the Microsoft 365 apps are included or not, virtual network settings if you're using Microsoft's or your own, and user admin rights, right? Do you want your user to log in and, be a administrator? All right, so now that you have the policy, the Intune assigns the policy to the user. So now the policy is assigned, right? We have all the settings configured, but where is the Cloud PC? Well, we have to give the user a license because simply assigning this won't do anything. So what we're going to do is we can assign the license to the user. And if the license is assigned and they have a provisioning policy assigned, now a Windows 365 Cloud PC is created. So now the user can log into that Windows 365 Cloud PC from any device, smartphone, tablet, laptop, doesn't matter, right? So as long as they have the Windows app, they can get in and do what they have to do. So I told you what it is. Let's look at what it is. So the easiest way to access Windows 365 is through the Windows app. So if you're on a PC, you can go to your app store and we're just going to search for Windows. There it is, Windows app. Now I already have it installed, but you would go ahead and install it. I have it pinned down here to my taskbar. There is a browser dashboard that is going end of life June 1st, so I figure, you know what, why not start the way we're supposed to? So you would just sign in. You can see I have a lot of accounts here, but I'm going to sign in with my credentials to my Rubix Dev tenant, and this is a virtual machine that I use personally. So see, if I had multiple assigned to me, I would see multiple PCs. In this case, that's my Cloud PC. So this is kind of a nice little hub for all your Windows environments. So all I have to do is hit connect here. All right, so this is my Cloud PC starting up. It automatically goes full screen. All right, so I'm here at my desktop, and it's configured just the way I like it. Now, the really cool thing is, all of Windows 365 lives in Microsoft Intune, right? So it's very much built for it. So anything I'm doing to manage PCs in Intune is automatically gonna affect this one. So all my settings, my policies, my apps, What's really nice too is I have a company portal, same way I would in any Intune, same way I would for any Intune managed PC. So if I need to get additional apps and things that have been made available, I could just come in here and, grab what I want, which is really nice. It's very responsive, I could fire up applications like Microsoft Visual Studio for some projects I'm working on, and I can minimize it, right? So if I want to work side by side, you can. We'll disconnect for now, and that's here when we need it again. So who is this for? Probably the biggest one for me is any kind of contractor or bring your own device scenario. Bring your own device for PCs for me doesn't really work, right? I don't see, it's not like a phone or tablet where we have very robust MAM policies. I don't see a secure way for someone to bring their own laptop or, computer to work, right? If the organization is allowing that. However, with Windows 365, I can give someone access to a virtual PC like that. They can get the app on any platform. That Windows app I showed you, you can get it on the Windows Store, the Mac App Store, iOS, Android, right? It's just, everywhere. So, literally, someone could use that on their own hardware, and it's completely, secure, right? That machine's fully managed by Intune. So that's a great use case. I see it also as a great use case for a second machine. I've worked with folks that had very stringent security requirements on their physical PCs as far as developers, like what they can, what tools they can use, what tools they couldn't. Maybe they want to install Python, Git, some kind of homebrew thing. So what the organization did is they would make them a Windows 365 PC and tell them, hey, look, go do whatever you want on that. That'll be completely isolated from your PC. So that's another good use case. We're also starting to see it more in the frontline space, meaning shared devices. And we're going to talk about that a little bit because that's an area where Microsoft really expanded. So we're going to talk about that. One last use case I want to bring up, and there's many, and this is an interesting one, is Windows 10 is going end of support, right, this year. However, if you have a Windows 10 PC that doesn't meet the criteria for Windows 11, I mean, you can't upgrade for it, but you want to use that PC to access the Windows app to use your Windows Cloud PCs, you're going to get free extended support on that Windows 10 device. I mean, that's pretty important, and I feel like more people should be talking about it. So if for some reason you're in the middle of a hardware refresh or a Windows 11 update and you're not going to make it in time, or you're not going to refresh everyone in time, this is a very simple, pretty quick way to get these cloud PCs deployed. So you say, hey, listen, these Windows 10 machines, right? Maybe I have 100, maybe I have 200. They're going to use Windows 365. And now I know they're at least going to get security updates on the base operating system while they're logging into the cloud PC. So it's another great use case. Okay, one thing I do want to touch on, though, is the different types of Windows 365 SKUs. So let's do this. Let's call this Windows 365 Business. Okay, so there's 4 different types of Windows 365 SKUs here. So what's the difference between Business, Enterprise, GCC, and Frontline? Well, here's the way it works. And I'm in a silly mood, so I'm going to use like an orange crazy font. So Windows 365 Business is good for up to 300 users. So it's definitely meant for your smaller businesses. There's not as many customization options. So let's call this it's a much simpler experience. For example, enter and hybrid join. You can't do that. You can only enter join. Your provisioning policy is limited. Can't use custom images. So again, very basic. And you also have limited management functionality from the Intune side. So limited Intune management. All right, cool. So that's the deal with Windows 365 for Business. And look, here's the thing. A simplified experience isn't necessarily a bad thing. Simple doesn't mean bad. Simple means simple, right? So if you were to look at this through the lens of maybe a small medical practice who does not have a large IT staff, or let's be realistic, any IT staff, this would kind of make sense in terms of just, hey, I want to provide a PC so people can go do their work on it, right? So yeah, it's not bad. It's just those are the facts about it. All right, now we come over to Windows 365 Enterprise, which is what I mostly work with and what I've typically deployed for different organizations. Let's call this, so there is no user limit. Oh, these colors are so much fun. You have the ability to do custom provisioning, meaning you can use the Windows versions they give you. You can literally add your own image to it. It's much more robust. You can do intra or hybrid join. Actually, I should add that over here and say intra only. Intra join only, not a bad thing. You also have full Intune integration. So whatever you can do with Intune on a physical PC, you can do on a Windows 365 Enterprise PC. And there are also more SKU options available. So we'll just put that here too. More hardware SKU options. Okay, now the Windows 365 GCC, just like other things called GCC, this is for government customers. You're getting the same features as Enterprise, right? In terms of, the no user limit, the custom provisioning, all that good stuff. But it runs in, it's for government customers, which means it runs in the Gov Cloud. And that's kind of it, right? Now, Frontline is a whole different experience, and this is a newer one. This is designed for multiple users. So we're going to say designed for multi-user. Now, very specifically, this is non-concurrent. So what that means is I can buy one Frontline license and assign it to a group of 3 users. And if they're logging in and out of it, right, I don't need more licenses. They can't all 3 use it at the same time, but think shift workers, right? Think retail, think factory floor. So let's think shift workers, right? It also has a shared mode. Now, shared mode is a newer feature, and that allows, a static PC experience, right, to be used by multiple users as opposed to, the initial intention was I can give 3 different users 3 persistent PCs as long as they're not using it at the same time. This allows me to just create one static PC. Let's think a training computer, a sign-in, like a timesheet sign-in, clock-in type device, where multiple users can just, log in, use it, and log out. So I did a video on shared mode specifically, and we'll cover it again. But yeah, that's a feature of Frontline. So it's, I would say, while we're talking about it here, this is cost-effective, right? Especially if you need to provide, a lot of cloud PCs. So those are the different SKUs, right? The one we're going to be talking about probably the most is the Enterprise SKU because it's the most full-featured, but this way you have an idea of what everything offers. So hopefully that helped in terms of kind of demystifying what Windows 365 is, giving you a good introduction to it if you're totally unfamiliar, and just kind of getting us in the door there, right? We didn't go too technical, and that's okay. I more wanted to start with these concepts and, high level. In the next episode, we're going to be going into more of the technical side of how to get started with it, some best practices, integrating it with Intune. I mean, it lives in Intune, so I don't know about integration, but the goal here is just to show you that this is a very capable solution, and it could be very beneficial based on what the organization needs are. If you want to go further, I'm doing some deeper dive Windows 365 stuff in the members channel. It's like below, there's a join button down there somewhere. We just did one about moving from physical to virtual and kind of helping you assess these SKUs. And today we're dropping a video that's how to move data from a physical PC to a virtual PC using Intune. So really cool stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are about this stuff if you're using it. And hey, if you do feel the need to just tell me you don't like the price and it's so expensive, guess what? It's the internet. That's your business. You do what you want below. And we'll be seeing you.